If you've been asking yourself, should I start a blog? Then I have some perspective for you. Whether you want to pursue blogging as a profession or just amateur blogging, there are 6 major ways that it could change your life, and 3 ways that it definitely won't. Hi, Kayla here from Writing From Nowhere, and I am not sharing these insights today as a mega successful $1 million blogger or as someone with a course to sell. I am on blog number 3 in the last 10 years. My first 2 blogs failed, and I couldn't get the idea out of my head that I still wanted to find a way to make blogging work. And if you're watching this video, I think you're the same way, and I think that you're hooked on the idea of blogging for a reason. I hope this video today can help you decide if blogging is worth it for you to go for it, or if it's not going to work out for you in the long run. So let's dive into the 6 ways a blog to change your life and 3 ways that it definitely won't. Might as well start with the elephant on the internet, making money from blogging. Yes, it's 100% true that you can support yourself full-time from a blog. It's also true that a lot of that income can be passive, so you're making money while you're sleeping. It is the biggest headline of blogging online, no doubt. It is totally true that some people can start a blog and then within 3 months replace their salary, quit their job, and out-earn themselves from their normal career. Those stories are true, but they are really not the norm. Most people are going to work for at least 1 year for free, investing into their blog before their blog pays them back. Something that you don't always notice about these success stories is that, let's say supporting yourself full-time from your blog is like climbing a mountain, and this is the top. Everybody starts at 0 in the beginning of life. No one comes out of the womb understanding WordPress and optimization and whatever. But let's say somebody had this as a hobby whenever they were in college, or they had a job where they professionally built websites and optimized, or their spouse does this full time and was able to help them. And then they started their blog, and even though it was a brand new blog, they had a lot of that learning curve already under the belt. If you're watching this and you don't know anything about blogging, it is still totally possible for you to start a blog and succeed and make money and get whatever you want out of your blogging experience. That's how everyone started at some point, not knowing anything. Most people didn't learn how to blog in a course in college. It wasn't a major or a specific career path. It's just a collection of skills. And I bet that you have collected a lot of skills that you don't even realize will help you whenever you're blogging. All that to say, the success stories are true, but you should not expect your blogging path to look like somebody else's. If you want to start a blog and make money from it, you're going to have to invest a lot of time, potentially money, and training and education, and sweat equity, creativity, energy before you financially get returned. The second life-changing aspect of blogging is that it is a sea of self-discovery. Do you still struggle with the questions, what do you want to be when you grow up, and what's your calling? I think a lot of us do, and blogging is an incredible way to learn about yourself. Building a website and publishing content might sound like a technical act, but blogging is an absolute creative canvas. By consistently writing articles, you're going to discover where your creative energy and juices really flow, what topics light you up more than anything else. You'll also get amazing reactions to your content, like someone emailing you or commenting and saying that something you said really changed their life or really helped them or made them think differently about something. If you blog consistently, I'm convinced that it shines a spotlight on what you enjoy most. This leads right into point number 3, which is community. Is there a group of people that you wish you could go hang out with online or in real life? Maybe people who share a specific illness you have, or people who play an instrument that you do that you wish you could hang out with and talk to. You can create that space online for you all together. So many great creators come to mind whenever I talk about this point. I'm thinking of Natalie from the Mindful Mocktail, who created a blog where she helps people give up alcohol and be healthier. I'm thinking of Kat from Away Abroad, who helps women move abroad and build the life that they want. I'm thinking of Andrea from Friend with Endo, who helps women with endometriosis get diagnoses and resources and manage their symptoms. These happen to all be friends of mine, so I know for a fact that each one of these people has changed people's lives through their brand. You don't need to know exactly who you're trying to find online before you start your blog. It's going to happen naturally if you share and connect with people. It's going to happen beyond just your niche, beyond the people who you would ever meet in normal life. I think it's impossible to blog for more than a year and to not make these really meaningful connections. Whenever you put yourself out there online, you're gonna naturally meet people who are in the same space or interested in the same thing that you're talking about. And then by just joining the online space, the blogger space, you're gonna cast this even wider net and end up meeting people that you would have never crossed paths with in life. You don't have to have a plan or know exactly what group of people you're targeting or hoping to connect with. If you go online and start blogging in an authentic search for community, you're going to find it. Number 4, a blog can help you transition into a different industry. A great example of this is legendary travel blogger Nomadic Matt, who on a podcast interview said that he started his website as a portfolio for freelance writing gigs, and it ended up pivoting him into the travel industry and essentially becoming the first ever travel blogger. I feel like this point really sits at the crux of the real opportunity of amateur blogging, and that's that you can create any opportunity that you've wanted to have been offered. If you've always wanted to write online or for a magazine and you've never known how to break through, start writing for yourself. If you want to stay within your current career, you can start writing about your current industry or niche and use it as a way to really stand out. Or you can branch out and use your blog to pivot industries, start a side hustle, experiment with online business ideas, anything. Build the structure and use it for whatever you want. Personal development, career advancement, career transition, new opportunities. Build the opportunity that you would like to have offered to you. This transitions right into point number 5, which is skill development. Starting at zero and building a blog is an amazing opportunity to learn a bunch of things that you might have otherwise not learned. You're gonna learn things about yourself like we talked about, but you're also gonna learn technical skills like how to write and publish a blog post and how to set up a website and what metadata is and all of these little things that might seem really mysterious to you. A blog is a massive opportunity to learn, develop, and grow new skills. You have to repeat the process over and over again of not knowing what to do, having to Google and watch YouTube to figure it out, problem solving and self-teaching as you go, probably failing, screwing it up, not doing it correctly, and then having to learn again. This is an absolutely incredible muscle to develop. It might seem like a really awkward process in the beginning to not know anything, and then you're typing things into Google, not even knowing what to Google to get the solution and the steps that you need. But it has to happen if you're gonna do anything that you've never done before. The journey of blogging requires this. It requires you to learn and advance and develop and guess and make it happen. No one's coming to tell you today's the day to start a blog and here are the steps. You have to decide for yourself that you want it and you're gonna do it and you're gonna figure it out, and it's worth it to you to figure it out. On an existential level, this is an amazing gift of blogging, and it'll definitely feel like a curse at times because you have to learn so much on your own. But not only is this an incredible way to live, to decide to make it work on your own and figure it out, but it's also an amazing opportunity to develop tangible skills that are going to benefit you in your career or you can use to start an online business. Not all of blogging has to or even should be about making money or developing an online business idea, but this is exactly how my business got started. Whenever I started writing from nowhere in 2018, I knew that I wanted to get on Pinterest because that's where I read blogs, was finding them on Pinterest. And I had no idea what to do. I was completely clueless, and I started learning by myself, and then I bought a course and I just experimented and was feeling around in the dark for a long time. And then I ended up learning that I was really good at Pinterest. I really understood it, and people started paying me to manage their accounts. I started helping people in Facebook groups, answering their questions because Pinterest just made sense to me after figuring it all out. And one day somebody said, "Can I pay you to run my account?" And that's how my entire business of being a Pinterest manager was born. This path is not unique either. I've met a lot of people online who have stumbled into their online business this exact same way. Even if you never make a penny, and you really don't have to, the skills you develop are gonna give you such a confidence. It's such a gift. And that really leads right into way number 6 that a blog can change your life, that feeling of self-made satisfaction. No one's coming to tell you to start your blog, but if you decide to do it anyway, just because you want to, that idea is just planted in your mind or in your heart, and you want to make something and build something of your own online, that is going to change who you are. Looking at a website that you think is beautiful and full of things that you've made that came from nothing, that nobody asked you to make. A boss didn't tell you that you had to do something by next Friday. It wasn't demanded of you from anywhere. To just have an idea and to follow it through execution is such a satisfying feeling, and it gives you this amazing confidence that you can tackle any other thing that you've seen someone else build. All of a sudden seeing successful businesses or people who have written books or people who have changed careers, all of a sudden it doesn't seem so mystified anymore. Once you've done this for yourself, you're going to recognize the same steps in every other big leap in life. And you're gonna remember that, oh, I started at the bottom and I made it to the top. Started from the bottom, now we're here. No, it's not about accomplishment. It's about accountability and follow through. Once you see that you were able to take an idea and follow through on it with your blog, you're gonna realize that a lot of other big ideas that you've had in your life are totally doable. But just like everything in life, there's another side to the coin. Amateur blogging will not change your life if you talk about it a lot and never follow through, or if you see it as an opportunity to make a lot of money online without putting in that much work, or if you don't like the thing that you're blogging about. Blogging is writing. And if you don't like to write, or if you don't like what you're writing about, you are never going to make it. That might sound really harsh, but that's exactly why my first 2 blogs failed. And it's why I see a lot of people start in the blogging space and then peter out. Sometimes really quickly after only publishing a post or 2. Or better yet, people who buy the website and then never publish anything, but tell everyone, I started a blog, but it didn't work out because it was way too competitive. That's what I did with my second blog. I bought the URL in 2017 and I wrote blog posts but never published them, and then told people, well, I started a blog. Blogging is so competitive these days. How would I know? I really wasn't blogging. I didn't publish anything. And it's not because the posts weren't good. The very first post I ever wrote for that blog was an Amtrak review, and that is still one of my top traffic drivers to my current website. I wrote it as a Google Doc, never hit publish, chalked it up to being a failure. And then in 2018, whenever I decided to give it another go, that was the first blog post that I published, and that is still one of my top ranking blog posts. Every blog post is like a seed, and you need to put it in the ground and give it time. A seed that you never plant is never going to grow. That's a guarantee. And I think that a lot of times blog posts or blog ideas in general are a lot like seeds, where you don't know what you have on your hands. Is this a dandelion or is this a redwood? You have no idea how popular a post could be, how many people could be helped, or what opportunities could come from a few seeds. I think blogging really comes down to one sentiment that I heard on a podcast from writer Jedediah Jenkins. He said that if you tell me that you want to be a writer, but you're not writing, then I don't believe you. And if you tell me that you're dying to be an actor, but you're not participating in local theater or going to auditions, I don't believe you. Because if you want to do something, then you would do it. If you really wanted to, you would. And that's harsh. I know that doesn't account for all sorts of nuances in life. Maybe you're watching this on your phone and you don't even have a computer to blog on. I'm not skimping over those difficulties, but if you really want to start a blog, find a way. Use the computer at the local library. You don't need the best tech. I'm filming this video on my phone because I don't have a nice camera to film it on. You need so much less than you think tangibly, but you need a lot of intangibles to succeed. And I think if you're still watching this, you have them. You have the interest, and I think that you want someone to talk you into believing in your blog idea. And I am happy to be that person. And I hope that you believe it, that your idea could change your life or could just be something meaningful to you, even if nobody else reads it, to just look and say, I wanted to do that and I did it. And that you can feel that confidence and give that gift to yourself. Since starting my first blog in 2012, I've spent hours and hours and hours writing, publishing, buying a domain, letting the domain expire. I made a ton of mistakes and had a bunch of failures in blogging, if you want to think of it that way. But I also support myself now based off of my blog. I'm a Pinterest manager. It supports me and my husband. And that came from my blog. At the heart of everything, the beating heart of my business and my livelihood is that one Amtrak post that I wrote and decided, you know what, I'm hitting publish. I bought my domain writingfromnowhere.com in a hostel in London for $18 and just figured it all out. Google and YouTube as my co-pilots, God as my witness. I didn't want to talk about how I always thought about blogging anymore. And my life would look radically different if I had never done that. And I hope that you'll go for it and give yourself that opportunity as well. If you have any questions or need any more encouragement or anything, reach out in the comments. I'm really excited to talk to anyone else who's thinking about starting a blog and support each other. If you need inspiration of knowing someone who has a successful blog, let's be friends. You can know me. I'll be your digital friend next door that's rooting for you and cheering you on. Talk to you next time. that sounded good. Helps people. Thanks to my blog, I met all of these amazing, no, not thanks to my blog. I know that this happened. That was good, huh?
Yeah, that was very good.
This video is really revealing how messy my apartment is.